Right, so it's the last 5 minutes of the show, and therefore, in accordance with the rules of comedy and the desires of not only this theatre, but Islington Council, I am now going to have to go through the differences between men and women. So, no, I know, but we've got to get through it. So, okay, so, do you guys know the phrase, it's always the quiet ones? Good phrase, yeah, useful phrase. So let's say you have two colleagues, Alan and Susan, Susan and Alan. So, you have two colleagues, Susan and Alan. Let's say you go into work one day and someone says to you, did you hear about Susan? Oh, it's always the quiet ones. What that means is Susan's a bit sexy. Susan got off with someone at the Christmas party. Susan went home with someone at a nightclub when everyone went out afterwards. Someone found Susan on a swingers website. Susan's a bit of a dark horse, it turns out. Hey, did you hear about Susan? Oh, it's always the quiet ones. Alan. You come into work and someone says, did you hear about Alan? Oh, it's always the quiet ones. Alan killed Susan.
It really hurts my stomach. Oh.
Above his garden, they're digging it up, it's bad. That's a fun difference. There you go. Ladies, your secret thing is sexy fun. Chaps, ours is harrowing violence. So. I have been informed by memes, ladies, that none of your clothes have pockets. I don't know what you did to lose pocket privileges. Filling them with votes and contraception again, no. No, all of your things will be in a sack. Like a hobo in a cartoon. Everything in a big, heavy sack. Will the sack be cheap? No. The sacks will be very expensive indeed. And cumbersome. This is a good thing to clear up now for comedy's sake. Where a lot of comedians say, ladies, I don't know why it takes you so long to get ready. The reason is you have more things to do, so. Good to get that finally cleared up. 10 things takes longer than one thing, so. There we go. I'm a man. I have one thing to do before I leave the house, make sure I'm not visibly covered in shit. And I can do whatever I want. So, good to finally answer that question at last. Toilets. Specifically public toilets. Very different attitudes there. Men will use any public toilet. They are willing to use a toilet in almost any state. They're willing to mop up a stranger's still hot piss if it means that they can finally have a shit at a festival. So, men are fine with that. Women, I know women who have risked wetting themselves on a bus journey home to avoid using an even fairly good nick sort of public loo. Amazing. And when you do have to use a public loo, it turns out that all of you split into either hoverers or nesters. It's the hoverers I'm most impressed by because it's a wall sit with nothing behind you. It's the sort of thing Bruce Lee would do for training. I mean, just... Your entire lower body tensed, but still relaxed enough for piss to come out. How? I couldn't even hold it for that long. My knee hurts now, standing here now. The other ones are nesters, and what you'll do is, in order to avoid touching the toilet seat with your bare ass, you will take horrible, thin, translucent little squares of loo roll and lay them reverentially around the seat like you're making a horrible nest for an awful egg. A lot more gender-neutral loos around, so I've come across a few nests lately. Like a filthy Bill-Oddie. She can't be far. Still warm. And of course, makeup. My partner was saying to me, you're very lucky, Pierre, that you don't have to wear makeup. It is a financial expense. It is a time expense, which is fair. That's part of the getting ready thing, isn't it? Having to paint on your whole face again. Every day. Like a portrait artist. Time expense, money expense, and it's a weight of societal expectation, a tyranny. You're very lucky to not have to cope with that. So I said, okay, stop doing it. Don't do it. Stop wearing makeup. Don't wear it ever again. And she said, well, no, I don't. Men want us to wear makeup. And I said, men don't know what they want. They don't know. Do you remember how you all used to have to wear ruffs?
Oh, like what?
Tudor period. Well, it's not anymore, is it? There's no more ruffs around. So what must have happened is women just went, these are horrible. And you all stopped wearing them. And men were annoyed for 2 days. For 2 days, men went, oh. Oh. And on the third day, they were just back to being, horrible fucking... They'd already forgotten, just ape brain. They don't care. Men don't know. It's not about us. And she was like, well, we're all wearing it, and if you stop on your own, it doesn't mean everyone else will. So I was like, well, have a meeting. Have a lady meeting. Have a lady meeting at Lady Hall. Unionize. You all get makeup wipes, and you go, okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, first person to break, we kill. She was like, well, you can't just ban it here because, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It disproportionately employs women. It's an art form. It's a form of self-expression. And I like wearing it. And I said, you like wearing it? She said, yeah. And I went, well, then what are we fucking... Why are we talking about it then? And the reason is twofold. Is that difference between men and women is that men can't complain cathartically. Women are allowed to complain cathartically. She didn't want solutions from me. What she wanted was for me to go, oh. Thumbs down from me for that. Bad, actually. Whereas instead I was offering solutions like some sort of idiot. Because you guys can complain cathartically, and it must feel very nice, because a woman can say to another woman, this intractable problem is shit, isn't it? And the other woman will say, it is shit, your opinions are valid, and you are not insane for having noticed or thought that. If one of my male friends came to me and said, Pierre, I'm going to complain to you now about a problem that I already know has no solution. I'd say, what have I done to fuck you off that you would... ruin my whole day like this? Get out of my house. Men don't get to do that. They don't have that catharsis. They just pack it all in there, day after day. Of the quiet ones. That's the end of the show. Thank you very much for coming out, guys. Thank you.